Please take a second. So we have 20.
A peaceful one for us all. Distinguished guests, and I had put here on the dais, but dais is Kali. Business leader, academic staff of this outstanding university, and you students, of course. I think the clever ones are not here. They've left. Thank you for you guys being here. And as you may have heard, I was given this task to speak to you round about 24 hours ago. So let's kind of think. So who do you consult? I consulted Dr. Google. And I prepared my speech. And I'd like to start off with, oh, please join us. Thank you. I will start off with that we all know the phrase, great minds think alike, right? Is that right? That's the phrase. I can't hear you. But the girls are shy over there. Very good. But that phrase is actually wrong. Because if great minds think alike, then somebody is not thinking. Only one is thinking. So let's change this. And let's say great minds think ahead. My task, of course, is to make this interesting, informative, and most of all, make sure that you don't fall asleep. And I hope I can achieve that. It is not compulsory to laugh, but it is nice when you hear a crack. So how can academia, not macadamia, academia, and commerce can work together? I think there are many examples around in the world, around us, and we heard, and will probably hear, some more of them. Not from me, from others. I just speak in general terms about general conditions and pitfalls when academia and commerce work together. What happens is, when they try to come together, the first thing that's going to come is, okay, so who's going to be the junior partner? Because in a partnership, you will have somebody who is a senior partner and there's a junior partner. Even in marriage it is like this. My wife is the senior partner, I'm the junior partner. So the first thing they have to do is, academia and commerce, they have to come together and map out how they're going to work together. So that nobody feels it is the junior partner. The one with the money always likes to think, I got the bucks, so I chart the odds. And the one with the brain, the academia, says that's not really quite fair, because you know, without me, all your money does nothing. So it's quite a trick to come together. We have seen it with pharmaceutical companies doing it. IBM is doing it, our own Tatas and so on are doing it here in India. And the success of a completed project is always, and hopefully always, better for a better life for us. And yes, someone will make a pocket full of money. Just some pockets are bigger than others, I guess. Also, funding depends on who funds what. Results are always questioned. The question arises when the dairy lobby, for example, put a study out and said that butter is good for you. There were others who said butter is bad for you, and it's just depending on who is funding it. Then margarine became the hero. Butter was out, margarine was in. Another study was done. Sorry, we made a mistake. Those fats are no good. Butter is in again. So one has to be careful how the study works. And there are many other examples about protein. Yes, no protein. And let me get right into the subject which works best for me. And that's food. You can see that. And water. So how can academia work together on the subject of food and water? We have heard about cyber security. We have the former Minister of Agriculture here. He knows best how important food is. And what I will try to do is I will give some examples, and I want you're 50% of the 50% there, to think about what you can do in order to contribute. Because food and water is very important to us. People have tried to do without it, but didn't work. Didn't work. So let me give you an example. There is an organization called MIT. And MIT stands for Massachusetts Institute of Technology, which brings out a newsletter, which my wife reads. She's a clever one, remember? But she gave me an article to read, which is so fit for today's discussion. MIT was created to move innovative ideas and research into the real world. In other words, something has been at university been designed and created, and now they needed to commercialize this. And particularly for food, the critical need for food and the critical need for water. And those are not my words, those are the words of Professor John H. Lienhardt. He is a professor at JWOFS, which stands for, and I read, Abdul Latif Jamil World Water and Food Security Lab. This organization gives out grants to MIT to develop products which help to work on the security of food and water. So I give you one example which they're doing, and the interesting part is it will be field tested here in India. Now, it probably, good, I didn't see that before. I didn't see that before. And you didn't want me either. We all love milk. I think every household has its own daily dahi production going on. We know that India is the largest milk producing country in the world, but we also know that the milk delivery system is extremely fragmented. Small farmers, collection centers to dairies, and so on. Now where the problem is that the dairy which collects the milk will have from a dairy farmer who feeds particular feeding to their cows, and might be giving them high fat content, lower protein content, etc. And somebody else does the opposite. But when it all comes together in the big pot for them to either sterilize or pasteurize the milk, that balances them out, and we just get one kind of milk. Now what this institute has done is, they have developed a system where it is now being scaled down to a handheld device like your mobile phones, which I see all switched off, that they can she has not listened to me. Which you hold in your hand, and it will read the protein and fat content of the milk to see if it fits and what standard it is from that milk jug that one farmer may give to the collection center. At the collection center, they can start separating the different grades. And what it will mean is there is going to be a better standard of milk, and we will get a better product of milk. It will also help to control waste. And those are the kind of things which we as academia, as well as industry, can work together in. It would not stop Amul to fund a project similar to this, or get involved into this project to see that milk, which is a fundamental product of our daily consumption, gets to us. The next one, number 2, is they have now developed a handheld device, similar, all small, forgive me, to reduce food-borne illnesses by food testing products right from the beginning of the food chain, so that the bacteria doesn't travel from a source material into a processed material into the end product. And what it means, the food-borne illnesses which then get passed on, and they jump from your potato to the asparagus to the dahi to whatever, you can isolate it quickly and you put it out of the circulation. This one is my favorite. Picture this. Pesticides. Can't live with them, can't live without them. Those buggers are with us for a long time to come. But how do we control this? Now what MIT has done is they have developed a spray, a particular spray using the same pesticides, with an addition that the water droplets or the pesticide droplets go onto the fruit or the leaf, whatever is sprayed, and actually stick on it. And what does it do? It stops the runoff, because if you go to a farm now and you see them spraying, it runs off, and that's 90% of the product runs off, and 1% only stays on the fruit. So that means we could save 10%, 90% of our spray. That means the soil which we have will not be stressed as much as we're stressing it now, and we can still live with pesticides, but in a better and in a controlled environment. Water. Water is going to be a problem for us for many years to come. And what water basically means life. Israel, for example, they have equipment in the army which makes water out of air, takes the moisture and converts it into water. Israel is also a leader in desalination plants. But the bad side effect of desalination plants, okay, I'll try English now, desalination plants, is that you need a high amount of water in order to get a liter of pure water. And at the same time, you also need abundance of electricity. So now, this particular Massachusetts Institute of Technology is also looking how we can use natural filters, which are basically from wood, to filter the salt and desalinize this. So I would personally like to challenge all the bottled water merchants to fund a research on better use of the water we have, preserving water and saving the water. But that doesn't mean that it stops with them. You have to contribute to the saving of water too. From the dripping taps, to be wasteful with the water you wash your dishes with. Water is going to be all our problem if we don't take care of it. And I think this is when an education center such as this comes into play. That it is yours, the teaching fraternity here of GITAM University, is the challenge to create minds which will lead us in academia and commerce to the future. We have to develop solutions from the eastern side. We have to develop solutions which are organically grown here. We need to cooperate with everybody, but it should not stop us from not using what's between our two ears, our heads, our grey matter. It should not stop us. And I would like to challenge you to question everything. Because when you question something, you will find other ways, better ways. Well, you don't have to question everything. I think we know that the world is round, so we don't have to go there. It's been proven. Don't waste your time on it. Commerce and academia to work together is also not just for the big boys. It is for everybody. It is for the smaller organizations. And I think today is a good example of who has been sitting here in front on those reserved seats where everybody got water. You guys in the back, you didn't get. I would complain. All of us have to work at it. We have to work for it. And we have to be driven by a passion. Not only profits. If you have the passion, the profits will come. Strangely enough, it always comes on its own. But if you chase the buck is faster than you. Computers and smartphones are with us. And I don't think there would be a life without having computers and smartphones. But can I ask you a question? Where was the first computer in biblical times? Anybody would know that? I'm open here for offers. And if you say no, it's also okay. I tell you. It was Eve. She had an apple in her hand. But it had limited memories. Only a couple of bytes and it was gone. We all have to deal with computers. And a computer beat me once in chess. But I can tell you, it was absolutely no challenge in kickboxing. I won. Let me tell you also something that we, as the older generation, we are known as the BC guys. And what does BC stand for? Before computers. Some of you are wrong. Before computers. So we had to learn new words. For example, for us application meant we go for employment. We fill in an application. Memory was something you start losing when you get grey hair like me. What was a mouse pad? A mouse pad was where the mouse lived. Cut you did with a knife. Paste you did with glue. A virus was the flu. And the web was the spider's home. On this lighter note, I would like to close and really hope that this short and brief speech and the examples of what can be done for food and water to sustain us will germinate ideas within you, all, not only academia, but also industry. And my closing note comes from Warren Buffett. I hope you're all familiar with him. Very good. 5 points for the candidates. Life's most important decision is choosing the person you marry. The best investment we ever make is in ourselves. Never do anything that you would be ashamed of. Should news of it appear on the front page of your favorite newspaper. Thank you very much, and I hope that you will have an